Okay. With that, let's go to our next game: GLCC versus Bulls. Pradi, what's your pick here? I'm damn sure you're going to say GLCC.
No, I'm gonna go with Bulls on this one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I know my story, and I'm gonna stick with that.
Okay.
this
Okay.
is going to
Jesse, what?
be this is going to be a challenge to the GLCC in this one. So we'll see.
Okay. Jesse. See, I have to ask Jesse in a different way. Jesse, do you
Hmm.
prefer playing GLCC or Bulls?
I I honestly don't know the answer. We were having a discussion 3 4 days back with a couple of KRCC teammates, and and this same topic came, and I was like, man, it is not. I mean, GLCC, yes, it comes with a repo. It has very, star players, players who have experience in playing playoffs, and lethal players. But Bulls, I do not undermine Bulls at all. They are very dangerous side. They pack at in hunt, like I mean they hunt in pack. They have that wolf pack mentality. They are the ones who play a team game just like the team game should be played. So I, to be honest, I don't have a straight answer to what you asked, Jagan. But coming to my pick, I would pick GLCC here, and we can talk in detail about it. Yeah.
Okay. So, see, let me ask you another interesting question here. So, you don't want any revenge?
No, with Bulls, I do not get that feeling. Although I do not get that feeling with most of the teams like revenge and everything, but with Bulls, not at all. Because of the individuals that play in that team, they all started playing DCL with Warriors like 7 8 years ago. So,
Mhm,
like most of them, the lad who is leading them, Vatsal Lande,
mhm.
he's he's such a great, you know, I if I say kid now, he has grown up a lot, but yeah, to me he's a kid. So he's such a great kid. Omkar Atre, Swapnil Dhande, and Vikas Sanghvi, all these players, they made Warrior uh, what Warrior was, because before we all started taking participating in DCL, when I landed in States and started participating in DCL, Warriors was a team which would go into playoffs or sometimes not even qualify, but with these individuals coming in, and we had a great run for 3 4 years. We played two semis, one final, one quarters, and we had a great experience. And like that's why I can vouch for them, that every one of them, they don't care about how much they are scoring, how much wickets who is getting. Never ever I have seen anybody of these individuals taking a look at scorecard and seeing, okay, you know what, I bowled two maidens, you know what, I did that and did that. No, every discussion in that culture is about, "You guys, we can do this, we can beat that opponent." That is the key thing in a team sport, especially cricket. And I think that's why I really really admire them and do not get any feeling of revenge against the Bulls.
Okay. Now I'll go to Pradeep. Pradeep, let me put let me ask my question in a different way. Why do you think GLCC will lose this one? I know you love
Yeah,
Bulls at this time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. GLCC, even though they had a pretty good start, I think they have been inconsistent throughout. And if you look at the score sheet of their wins, I would argue that the games that they play against good teams, most of them they lost. They did eke out a win on a few, but their consistency has not been there. Their bowling, I still believe, is their weak link. And Bulls, on the other hand, they have a very well balanced team. And if you look at, I mean, surprisingly, Omkar is a leading wicket taker in that team. Apparently, he's bowling spin. So that is going to be a challenge, spin bowling for GLCC. We'll see. It remains to be seen, of course. But their bowlers, they have, I think, 4 or 5 bowlers whose average is less than 3, and that tells me you have no weakness in your bowling, right? And up until last year, if I were to say what the weak link was for Bulls, it would have been their batting. But this year, uh, they have Stunmay scoring a lot of runs. He's been consistent throughout the season. Nikhil is right up there as well. Uh, Omkar's contributing. I mean, they have depth in their batting that they lacked in the past. So to me, for if GLCC has to win, I would identify a couple of players that needs to step up. Akash, right? Akash needs to definitely have a big game. Ajit needs to come in and contribute. Prabhu needs to contribute. Hitesh needs to contribute. Most importantly, Conradi should contribute. And I have not seen that contribution from 3 or 4 batsmen in a single game yet so far. Uh, 1 or 2 will click, but you need 3 or 4 big partnerships to win these types of games, especially going into the playoffs, because even though this Division One concept was really good, most teams face pretty good bowling, but this is the time when you're going to run into teams which have 4 or 5 good bowlers, so your batting is going to be exposed, and GLCC has struggled this year with their batting. Bowling has been their weak link, and I won't say much about their availability, but at the end of the day, there are 4 or 5 key guys that needs to click in order for GLCC to win this game. Bulls, on the other hand, they have a tremendous amount of confidence. They're youth, young, energetic, like Jesse said, and they have new blood who are playing really well. So I think that's going to tip the scale in the favor of Bulls. Let's see. I mean, that's why we play the game, right? You can pick one or the other, but the game still is played on the ground, and whoever comes in and shows up on a given day will win. But having said that, I'm going to pick Bulls on this one just because of the experience. Now they have a lot of experience. They've had major upsets last year in the last few years. They have a lot of confidence going in now. They no longer fear anybody else, and that is the key when you're playing playoff cricket. So you got to go in and play a game. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. Of course, you don't want to do something stupid, but at the same time, you can't go into a shell and expect to win games. You definitely can't, and I believe that is the lack of confidence on the GLCC side. So we'll see, but I'll definitely give uh, advantage to Bulls on this one.
Same question to you, Jesse.
Yeah, I think Pradeep summed up 2 or 3 things about each team very, very, in detail, and I totally agree with that. But a couple of points I want to touch here is uh, I picked GLCC because of the huge list of superbly talented players that I see in their roster. Okay, like starting from the top of the line, Akash Patel is a rock star. Like he's one of the best T-ball batsmen at currently going on. You talk about Kaushik, he can turn the game on its head in a span of 4 overs. I know he didn't have a great season so far, but these are the situations that bring the best out of such geniuses. There is Pradeep, there is Hitesh, there is Hemant, there is Prabhu, there is everybody you need to contribute in batting. I know they must have been pretty, disappointed within themselves as a group that they have not come to the party together on a lot of occasions, which have resulted in the games going out of their reach and not and have to play this because with the roster they have, they would have backed themselves to top the table and not being forced to play the pre-quarters. But they have a great team. And one downside I also want to talk about GLCC, although I picked them, is and I do not have any intention of stirring the pot or create any controversy here. But I I personally, because there is a huge admiration that goes from my side in personal towards GLCC for keep the flag high of an old club, like a really club from the very beginning. I When I was
22
leading
years.
Warriors, yeah, when I was leading Warriors, I realized it is not just the cricket that you play on the field that keeps you going in a tournament like DCL, which is like 5 to 6 months every year throughout the summers, where a lot of family time is sacrificed and things like those. So GLCC have always made sure that they put up a team, and they put up a team which is strong enough for them to be considered as contenders for the championship year after year. But with that comes a lot of arrangement as well. I've seen GLCC, a lot of players coming from this team, other team, A team, Y team, B team, C team, X team, but a lot of credit to them. But what that does is that doesn't make them a settled unit throughout from this season and the next season. You can always expect that there will be 4 to 5 changes in the GLCC roster, which is not an easy thing to manage on the field and off the field as well. And I would personally have liked uh, either a tactically brilliant, a genius captain like Samish, or a person who can who can set an example by leading from the front like Akash. These two have experience of leading the teams and GLCC, and I think GLCC soared to great heights under Samish's leadership. I know there would be a lot of say even today in GLCC think tank with Samish there, and his opinion would be very much appreciated. But when when he's there, I think if an arrangement could be made like that, these talent could still come in. But you have a captain like Samish, who is very shrewd, who is very technically genius. I have a huge admiration for him for his understanding of the game and reading the situations. I think I think to me it feels like every time this arrangement is done and there are 4 to 5 new faces, a team gets a lot of time to get set, and by the time it happens, there are a shush shush, like not quite loudly, but a small finger pointing, and people getting disappointed with others not stepping up and things like those happening, which which is not good for a team environment and things like those. I could be totally wrong here, but every year I've seen new faces coming into GLCC and not getting a settled unit, and I've seen with a lot of merging and everything, a lot of teams why they are not able to perform is because of this very reason, because it is not just uh, a solution that you're trying to make, that okay, 2 spoons of this and 2 spoons of that, and you have the solution and nobody can touch this can't go wrong. There are a lot of things that can wrong, because not just playing on the field, a lot of things goes on off the field as well. So I think that contributes towards GLCC not realizing their potential that we see on the roster. But uh, I would still pick them because, like I said, they have beautiful talent. They have everything covered. I think when Pradeep said their bowling is not that strong, I think that is because they might not have used their resources to the best of their abilities. Who to bowl, when to bowl, who like the matchups and everything. So I think they have Kaushik is a great bowler. Hemant is an excellent bowler. Hitesh is a great bowler. I see Samish. He's a wild fox. He can contribute in big games. Like he can do great. Akash is a very canny bowler. So they have just the right set of talent in the bowling as well. But with Bulls, I'm actually scared by not picking them because they can pull off a victory and make GLCC look like a bunch of amateurs. They can do that. But if I have to pick one, like Pradeep said, that is the beauty, that we have to play the game to find the result. But Bulls have a lot of things going into their favor as well. One thing with my only last comment on this particular game is I would like to say, uh, if anybody from Bulls team is listening, is they must go into this game thinking that they are favorite in this game. They are not underdogs. They have to back their batting. They cannot go into a game thinking that okay, guys, we have bowling as our strong suit, and whatever we can manage on the board, we'll try to defend, or let if whenever we bowl, we try to bundle them out and then see if we can chase. They cannot go with that mentality. They must, and I don't say should, they must go with a mentality that we are a great batting unit as well. They have Gino, they have Sunny, they have a couple other players who can contribute. Rohit is there, Omkar is there. They have a, nobody will have a great season all the way like for 6 months, but they have the right talent. Omkar have played 4 playoff seasons with Warriors, and now he's playing with Bulls. He's in the same capacity here, so they have to believe in themselves that they can pull it off. Even if they concede like 80 to 90 runs to GLCC, that can happen very easily. But even if they do that, I just want them to make sure that they have this thing going into their, you know, their team camp that we can chase anything as well.
Okay, see, the one point I liked is the culture of GLCC that you talked about. You know, you're right in whatever you said is correct. But
Yeah,
I'm thinking that will change from this year because as we speak, entire GLCC team is partying in Farmington Hills.
that's great.
And
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the only one missing because of the show. I'm they're they're pushing me. They're going to wait there for me till midnight. So right after this show I'm going there. So hopefully hopefully that culture changes.